Hello everyone, here psst.one. Today another interview with VJ Fader, a Chinese artist. He coded his own software. He started 1 year ago a new experience with a platform to sell VJ loops, and also he played hundreds of gigs in his big career. Today the interview is a little bit longer, but I suggest you to stay with us until the end for some advice from a VJ to other VJs. So, enjoy! When and why did you start to be a visual artist or a VJ?
Yeah, I started around 2002 when I graduated from a university in Los Angeles. So yeah, it's been what, 15 years, about 15, 16 years. Yeah, I started VJing because I thought there could be more good visuals at concerts or live shows or festivals in general, and I had a general interest in music video and yeah, live visuals kind of became kind of personal interest because for me it was like a live music video editing almost when I started out.
Most part of your career you use your own software that you code, right?
Yeah, I'm still marketing AV Mixer online, which is built with Max MSP Jitter, which I started making about 10 years ago, or marketing and selling online 10 years ago, under the company name Neuromixer. So I don't know. At that time, there weren't that many options. I think Modulate and Resolume just started coming out around the same time. And then there was VDMX and Grand VJ. So I don't know, it was a personal thing. I wanted to make something for myself, and then I decided to market this as more of a commercial product. And because of that, I never really used Modulator Resolume personally for my shows. And now in 2017, Resolume seems to be dominating the VJ market, and a lot of touring VJs are using that particular software. But I was into processing for a time. A few years ago, I was doing shows only using processing, so it's completely generative, but it was super minimal graphics, and I've done shows without any video content in the past, and now I'm using Touch Designer as my main VJing software solution for bigger shows. Because it's, for me it felt like it's still, I have some flexibility of, to be able to change things. I don't use it for generative content. I mainly use it as a media playback system for live mixing and effects. Yeah, just recently I received sort of a work in progress copy of this VJ rig built in Touch Designer called Division, and working with a good VJ friend, Itaru, we kind of worked out a simpler version of this. It's a 4-channel video mixer, and I've used it a few times in my recent gigs, and I'm pretty happy with the performance.
Also, another project of you is a VJ Loops website. You sell VJ Loops, or better, Loops for VJ. Why did you launch this?
Yeah, the platform is called AV Loops. It's at avloops.com. It's actually a officially registered company in Germany, which I'm kind of happy. I mean, it came as something I really wanted to establish or build for many years since the Neuromixer days, because yes, you know, it's a video mixing software, and then at the same time, I wanted to have a platform where people can, you know, trade or have access to a lot of video content. And you know, today, you know, the VJ scene is still young and still evolving. And we do have some platforms available, like Resolume has a footage, VJ footage section on their website where they sell, you know, packaged content. There's vjloops.com, there's Motion Loops, and many, you know, some other websites that offer VJ specific content. And you can even find these VJ content on some of the popular stock video websites like Pond5 or Video Hive, which is all well and good, but it's just personally I wanted to offer something different, a sort of open platform marketplace for content creators to upload and sell their work and create a large enough library so anyone can go and find what they are looking for. Yeah, I mean, you know, it wasn't easy to launch the platform, and it's still sort of a work in progress because the platform is less than 1 year old, and there's many things to be built in the back end to actually reach this kind of a, how do I put it, my imagined sort of state where, you know, AV Loops could become, you know. It's kind of a baby still growing, I feel like. One of the new feature that I really want to implement in the near future is kind of a subscription-based model where you pay a monthly subscription and then you have unlimited access to the entire library. So hopefully this will help, you know, push the platform forward and kind of, you know, get the content creators excited, and, you know, kind of a build a sort of, you know, I like to think of it as sort of an open version of Beatport, but instead of, you know, dance music, we're offering visual content for video artists and different, you know, ideally for all kinds of different genres of music, because, you know, there's a lot of music out there and not a lot of content to cover every single genre. Again, you know, for me personally, I want to see more better content out there. That's going to help the scene grow.
You are a VJ with a huge career. Have you any suggestion for the new VJs or VJs in general?
I would say, you know, my recommendation is, you know, when you're out VJing, you have to think more like an installation, that your visuals becomes an installation and you're not just putting your video on some screen, if that makes sense. Because it is a visual medium where it's a bit hard to explain. It has to encompass the whole thing, and also lighting inside the space. Maybe that's why, like, you know, when I do, you know, it's like if you look at all the, you know, shows you done or I have done or you have done, if you look at the photos, they all look different because every space is different. So you really have to think of it as you know, interior design almost. or you have to look at it as an installation. How do I move into this space, and how do I construct or create or deliver a visual presentation that that is working for this space? And a lot of times with projection, we're always fighting with the light within the ambient light within the club or the space or whatever. And when it's too dark, you can't see people's faces. When it's too bright, you don't see the video. So these are all sort of challenges that depends on the individual VJ or video artist to resolve to his or her best opinion that this is the best that could be done in this space, perhaps, or just do enough times where that this gets better every time, because I think a lot of times people don't think about these questions about where is the video screen placed, how bright is this video screen versus the light around the video screen. These kind of questions, is this too bright? I don't know. These are the questions I ask myself when I do shows. And also look around when you VJ. Look around your audience. Are they looking at the screen? What are they looking at? Are they looking at each other? Are they drinking? Are they looking at the DJ? Are they looking at the screen? When you turn off the video, do they care that you turned it off? You create some sort of a communication. It's communication arts. Definitely through visual communication. So you have to establish some kind of a connection between your audience, just as a musician would with sound. You're doing this with your visual medium. I personally like to use black during my VJ sets a lot, and a lot of people freak out. They're like, "Oh, why is the screen black?" Which is good, which is very good. That means they're actually looking at the screen. They're paying attention somehow for whatever reason. But for me, personally as a VJ, I think black is your best friend. It's like a musician. Silence is, the bass note is actually the silence. So I like to, take breaks during my VJ sets all the time, depending on the music, and every few minutes I'll just switch to black and I look around and I see what people are doing. I prepare my next video loop to be played, and then I wait for the music to pick up again, and then I show the video loop again. So yeah, that's kind of how I like to approach my personal VJ sets. I know it's a different style than everybody, but when you have video playing all the time on the screen, people get bored. Period. Their brain cannot process moving images constantly for hours. It doesn't work that way. You really have to introduce gaps. Ideally, Ideally, I like to do a VJ set where I only show video on drops only. If there's a drop, I show a video loop that goes with the drop, and then only on the drops. That could be cool. That could be a cool VJ set. Or, you only show visuals on chorus or rise. Only on the rise you show visuals, and then on the drop you can switch to lights. So you have to look at it as your this is like visual impact, and unlike lighting, you have to use it as visual impact in short bursts and not in a continuous form like movie. It doesn't work like a movie. You're in a club, you're dancing, you're drinking, you're having fun with your friends. You're not going to look at something for hours on end. It doesn't work that way. Your brain cannot process all this stuff. But if you introduce precisely choreographed visuals to the music at precise moments, and when that happens, people can perceive this as something very pleasurable, and they will come back to this moment over and over again. And that's what's, can keep people going and keep them dancing and keep them excited. When they come to the show, when they come to the performance, or when they come to the event, they have to say, wow. When they look at what you're doing, they have to go, wow. That has to happen every time for the VJing to grow, and for people to accept and learn and wanted to know more about this, what we're doing, because a lot of times it's just some video on some wall and people don't give a shit, and nobody cares. We have to make people care and make people go feel amazed every time, so that they want more next time. And maybe that's sort of a disconnect that we're kind of battling with. And I think some VJs don't get this difference. It's like you're playing on your little boombox, and you're like, oh, why people aren't amazed that I'm DJing on my little boombox? Because you don't have a big sound system. It's like dance music needs to go with a big sound system that has the impact. So with video, I think it's similar. You need to create some sort of an impact for people to be interested in your presentation, your content, or your performance, or something. I guess that's like a general argument for art in general, right? That's my 2 cents on how to VJ.